The march. The empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
The month of February is all about Valentine's Day. Big heart-shaped boxes filled with delicious candy. What if we, the Patriots, hijacked Valentine's Day and instead made it about human liberty and individual empowerment? I'm all about human potential. I'm all about the individual being empowered. The establishment is the opposite. That's why they spike our water with fluoride and GMO, estrogen mimickers, and the rest of the garbage. InfoWars is striking back in the month of February with Human Empowerment Month. How we can come together and win the human race. And to celebrate the kickoff of Human Empowerment Month, we're slashing prices on InfoWarsLife.com products like Super Male and Super Female Vitality. The sale is only running for the month, 20% off, and there's a lot of other powerful specials at InfoWarsLife.com. InfoWarsLife.com, celebrating human potential in the month of February. Visit InfoWarsLife.com to find this special and many others in the month of February. Again, InfoWarsLife.com or 888-253-3139. Used since before the days of the Roman Empire to support the body's natural systems and enhance overall health. Introducing the new InfoWarsLife.com oil of oregano formulation, a highly advanced nutraceutical form of this key herb that has been traditionally used by civilizations for thousands of years to promote health. We have now procured the most high quality and potent forms of oregano oil on the market, sourced from top leading manufacturers to ensure a concentrated level of bioactive ingredients. Extracted directly from the wild herb and sealed in easy-to-use capsules, you will no longer need to endure the burning of liquid oregano on the tongue. Wild crafted from the Mediterranean oregano species that experts agree is one of the most powerful and most challenging to acquire. This winter season, it's more important than ever to secure this true form of oil of oregano. Now available in our limited first run at InfoWarsLife.com. That's InfoWarsLife.com or call 888-253-3139.
The government's Department of Homeland Security is buying up loads of ammo. At the same time, they're restricting civilians' rights to own and purchase firearms. Can you put two and two together? Infidel Body Armor can stop every round, including hollow points and .308 sniper rounds, is reasonably priced and fully legal. But for how long? Go to InfidelBodyArmor.com, spelled INFIDEL bodyarmor.com. Infidel Body Armor. Just won't quit.
When cells become toxic, they die early and aging sets in. No one has put together a formula that focuses directly on brain health, nerve growth factors, and optimizing your cellular energy at the same time. Just one of the key compounds, BioPQQ, is backed by major clinical studies. You want the best that's out there at the lowest price anywhere? We now have the synergistic solution. Secure your DNA force today at InfoWarsLife.com or call toll-free 888-253-3139.
Defending the Republic from enemies, foreign and domestic. It's Alex Jones.
When the enemy comes in like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord will lift up a standard against it. You have to be that standard in your area. You're not going to find in the big establishment churches any fight against tyranny. The major denominations have been captured and are now engines of tyranny. Every basic freedom, every basic checks and balance is being annihilated. The announcements are being made of the federalization of your private 401ks. It's all beginning. The moves are being made. The decisions have been made to engage in a totalitarian, authoritarian, command and control, centralized, global, computer monitored, surveilled, directed, panopticonic system designed to destroy the souls of men. Our world is captured. Our planet is in the hands of the devil. God help us. All these Pharisees They'll get mad if you listen to rock and roll music, but they're not mad at the abortuary down the street. It's cutting up babies right now. Or they're mad at some veteran because they've got tattoos all over them. You can point at them, look at them tattoos all over that veteran. While meanwhile, you're doing nothing to warn people about vaccines. You're probably taking them. I'm talking about establishment type people. All these facts are there that the vaccines are just one example of a forced criminal annihilation of our people, with the UN and other groups caught caning vaccines all over the world to kill people, sterilize them, you name it. Let me tell you what they do in countries like Syria, where they've got captured areas of the country and send in the multinational UN force. They don't give you shots that just make 1 out of 54 kids or 55 kids mentally retarded. They give them shots that kill a large number of people. That was in the news just 2 weeks ago. In Africa, they tell the local town, yeah, you get $1 million in aid if you forcibly vaccinate everybody on your census roll. And they go out and they show up these villages in India and Africa and other areas at night. This is all over the news. And they come in with gunpoint and shoot everybody up. And then every woman who's pregnant has a miscarriage. I've got the news reports. Every woman within 2 days. I see the women interviewed in Indonesia and Chad and Africa. And they go, the baby was moving, and the next day, baby quit moving in my tummy. And 2 days later, the baby come out. And the only woman who keep baby run to woods. And they come back and take her to government clinic, and baby, she lose baby. I mean, are we just going to let them murder us, these bastards? I can't take it anymore. It's a load of, I'm sick of it. And I'm not above it. It's like I'm without it. It's like I'm outside of it now. I mean, they all run in here and they go, let's go make fun of these communists. They're going to have an InfoWars magazine burning party. And now these communist sites, them with red flags and how they're going to, protest. It should be fun to go protest a bunch of communists and, show them protesting and burning books. But I don't even want to be around them. We're dealing with a scientific takeover that, again, might as well be space aliens. It's so sophisticated and evil. And I'm not going to go be around a bunch of slack-jawed morons with red flags. You want to burn magazines? Just knock yourselves out, man. Because I'll be honest with you. I've had communists get in my face plenty of times, and I can't put up with it anymore, okay? I cannot put up with idiots anymore. I cannot put up with stupid people that have no idea how much trouble we're in and follow some Rockefeller-programmed communist thing because you think red stars look cool and Rage Against the Machine. Oh, I got all this news and I need to get to it. I can just see all the programming. That's why I just, they're all victims. Out of control, power tripping cops. They've had their souls sucked out. It's a zombie. All these control freak trendies on the streets, zombies. Anybody with this system, they're gone. They're gone. They're gone. That's not creepy and dystopic. Free vaccines at McDonald's. Thousands of studies, 25 of them looked at by Harvard, confirming massive IQ reduction when you drink hydrofluorosilicic acid or fluoride in your water. That's a fact, Jack. And by the way, they brag and write books about why they put it in the water so they can sit there and look down their fake intellectual predatory noses and just laugh at you when they walk through airports or see you on the street. They're just surveying you, what they've done with the GMO, what they've done with the vaccines. It's all a big sick joke. And then they have the Hollerith Watson computers on the death list for the troops now. Who could make that up? This is just too much. And what don't we know about? Who do they have working in these corporations and these governments? How do people sit there at the Monsanto genetic engineering facilities This is CBC, you name it. This is confirmed. First time it was out was 15 years ago. Another report 2 years ago. They were asking. They have all organic at the Monsanto facilities, with geneticists and people getting paid $1 million a year, some of them. And when you go look at who these geneticists are, they're all eugenicists, folks. Dr. Pianka at UT, the FBI actually did something good in that case. I was reading his quotes and showed his UT website where he talks about Lucifer, and he's in a white robe and says he's a druid. And he heads up a department at the time in biology. Who can make that up? And he's saying, soon the airborne Ebola will be released and we'll all be dead. And he goes to England and everyone gets these awards and standing ovations. So I said, this guy needs to be investigated. That's who you investigate. And then the FBI did go talk to him. I don't know why I went off on that story. Oh, yeah. And then we started getting threatened. And this woman was sending us threats and saying, don't talk bad about him. And, you know, all this. It was several of his graduate students. 2 of them were women. It was like a little campaign. And I went and looked up one of these women. And it was her now as a microbiology doctor working at a facility. And I looked up the grant and what work they were doing. And it was all this recombinant RNA, DNA splicing connected into weapons development. And there she was in that white lab coat, a doctor now. And she sent us this letter going, Dr. Pianka is actually not hardcore enough. He believes only 90% should die. Who could disagree? We're a disease, that we're a cancer, and that all humans must be killed. I mean, these are flaming cult members, folks. I'm not crazy. They are. They're dangerous. I see humans and love them. They see humans and hate them. Well, I got news for you. I know you want to be the good stewards and get rid of us first, and then you'll off yourself later. Bull. You have a heart after your father, and you love hurting people, and you love cornering people. You just do it with the establishment on a big scale, where you're run-of-the-mill person like Ted Bundy or John Wayne Gacy or Jeffrey Dahmer goes out and grabs little kids off the street or young women. And then they use them up for weeks down in a pit. And the psychopaths, I've had the top psychologists, psychiatrists, talking about, they say they're in these dark, horrible worlds. It's always associated with the occult. And they don't feel like they're alive until they're torturing someone. And then they torture the children until they, quote, use them up. And they can't terrify them or torture them anymore. And then they finally chop them up. And they love the smell of rotting meat. I mean, who are these people? They're like an interdimensional plague of psychic parasites. I don't know what it is. But I'm telling you this, these people have to be dealt with. And in my spirit, I absolutely, not in a hateful way, but in the way you, Lance Boyle, want to go after them. And they want us to do it violently because they think they can dumb that down and control that paradigm. They don't want it to be a spiritual, cultural change of awareness and just see these people and go, whoa, because we've been so long slowly indoctrinated into all this, slowly put into all this, and marinated in it so long that we've become super accepting of just over-the-top garbage. I mean, I didn't believe people when they told me that like half the BBC were pedophiles, and they were taking kids to the royal family, and they were naming names, and this prime minister would slit little girls' throats in his office, and they put plastic down on the floor, and they'd go have sex with the dead kids here, and they'd do this and that, and I would be like, delay. When people like David Icke was on like 15 years ago naming names, I was, because, you know, I can't, it's just outrageous to say, you know, that somebody's a pedophile, bring them to the royals, and then it all comes out they are. And I'd get on the break and tell David, I'm sorry, do not name names when you're saying this. And then I think, my God, what else is he right about? I mean, it's just so over the top, man. Weirdo disc jockeys bringing little kids to the royal family? Who can come up with stuff like this? Who are these people? And why do we put up with them? And then there's the epic thought,